When you are told that a new minister is assigned to your church, lots of thoughts go through your head. What is he like? Will he be approachable? Will the services be lively? 3 years ago, we were told that the Currans were coming to the Mount. We waited. We were slightly concerned, but there was no reason to be. Desmond and Elizabeth fitted right in. We are really grateful to both of you for showing the interest that you have done in the life of Mountpottinger, but especially the young people. On many occasions, Desmond, you would have called into the youth organisations to check how things were going and to show your support. We especially enjoyed it when you called into the youth club, and maybe members of the congregation are not aware of just how good a table tennis player you are. Isn't that right, Jordan? Had we kept the score, I'm sure you would have won every time. Every now and again, we were able to persuade you to try a few sweets from the tuck shop. And no, we didn't tell Elizabeth. Well, until now, we thank you for showing the interest that you have in the young people in Mountpottinger, but we couldn't have helped but share a private joke with you. Maybe in your retirement, you may want to do a bit of work as a lookalike for the WWE General Manager, John Laurinaitis.
There are two kinds of people in this world. People who have lots of ideas and visions, and people who actually implement them, and Elizabeth did both. All of us will be eternally grateful for your idea to set up a strong youth group in our church. It was your vision to close the age gap in our church by raising up young people who came to church not because they had to, but because they wanted to. Thank you very much for starting up the youth fellowship. We really appreciate it. It was because that one idea has enabled us to do a lot of things which we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. For example, going to youth events like Autumn Soul, the School of Worship, Overflow, Praise Him, meeting new people like Katie and Nikki, and bonding with youth groups around Northern Ireland. All of these things are down to you, and I can speak for everyone that these events have changed our lives and in turn will shape our future. You always encouraged us to try and bring more people along to YF so that it could grow. And on Sunday night last week, we actually discovered that there are more new people at YF than the original group, with only Aaron, Sophie, Emma and myself having been there from the start, which is amazing. We've grown closer as a group of friends and we're now like a family. We have a laugh on Sunday nights, but we also learn a lot too. We have good memories from your days at YF, the silly games which you used to play, our favourite being My Chair, our ultimate favourite, where you always ended up in the middle because I don't think you understood what was happening. Another favourite being the name game, where you had to say someone's name 3 times before they could say their own name once. After a few rounds of the game, we realised how difficult it is to say Elizabeth, Elizabeth, Elizabeth. Therefore, she proved to be the champion at that game because we could never get her out. And your laugh would just put a smile on anyone's face. One of my favourite memories of you taking YF was the little memory verses you used to give to us. I still have the very first one you ever gave stuck on my wardrobe to encourage me every morning. You set us with the task to try and memorise the verses for the next week, and this particular activity introduced me to my favourite Bible passage, which is Proverbs 3, verses 5 to 6, and it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight." And another memory verse which tied in quite well for me was Jeremiah 29, verse 3, which says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." And these verses came about when I was starting to make decisions that could change my future in school. So this was just a real encouragement to me, and I thank you, Elizabeth, for introducing me to them. Now, her memory verses weren't printed on white paper, they were printed on yellow card, which for me shows how much effort she went to just to make YF that bit more special. When Desmond fell ill, you unfortunately had to pass responsibility of YF onto my mum and her sidekick Dorothy, or safety dot as we like to call her, who are doing an excellent job, may I add. As a YF, we have visions for the future, which would be non-existent if it hadn't been for your idea to start it up in the first place. We are slowly growing more confidence in ourselves, which has meant we could lead the worship at the last youth service and also doing the Set Me Free drama. This has given us ideas for the future, and we are sad that you won't be here to share them with us. We're really going to miss you, Elizabeth, and thank you for everything you've done for us.